Okay, so we're diving into Shadows of the Silent House. You know that picture-perfect small town everyone imagines? This story twists that. It's like, even in idyllic spots, there's a dark side hiding.
It really makes you think about safety, like what we assume is safe. Could this happen anywhere? What would we miss?
Exactly. Like in Norwood, this perfect little town, and then suddenly 13-year-old Mia Carter vanishes. Poof, gone. Walking home, same route as always, then nothing.
It's that classic mystery, the vanishing. The town just falls apart, no leads, neighbors getting suspicious. You can feel the tension, everyone on edge.
Weeks go by and the fear grows. But then hikers find this abandoned cabin deep in the woods. They hear weird noises inside. This is where Detective Sarah Blake comes in. She's seen it all and she knows right away this isn't a normal missing person case.
Sarah's character, she's really well written. Not just a detective, she's got this personal connection to the case, makes her even more driven to find the truth. So we see everything through her eyes like we're right there with her.
I felt that dread she got to the cabin. The story pulls you in, all those details, the musty smell, the silence. Inside, it's like a horror movie. Signs of struggle, blood, it's chilling.
Then there's the note. The game is not over. She's waiting. I mean, come on, that's creepy. And under the note, a picture of another girl, Abby, vanished years ago. Same circumstances. Now it's bigger. It could be a serial abductor. This isn't just one missing kid anymore.
Wait, it gets more complicated. There's Vincent Crowe, a total recluse. Lives on the edge of town, always seen walking near that cabin.
Yeah, it makes you think about how we label people outsiders, right? Like, is he dangerous just because he's different? Vincent's a suspect right away, but maybe that's too easy. Could he be a red herring?
A what now?
A red herring. Think of it like a magician's trick, something to distract you from what's really happening.
Right.
So Vincent seems suspicious, but is that on purpose? Sarah visits him, and yeah, he's acting weird. Scratches on his arms, mud on his boots.
Totally suspicious, right? But is it really him? Or is this story leading us on a wild goose chase?
We don't know. That's what makes it good. Just when you think it's a dead end, the phone rings.
Hmm.
Lily, Mia's best friend, she heard Mia calling for help in the woods.
That's the turning point. Suddenly, it's not just searching. They have to find her now. It's the middle of the night, dark woods, Lily's flashlight leading Sarah towards those faint cries.
And then they find a hidden bunker. So well hidden, they're lucky to find it at all. Adds a whole new level of creepiness. Imagine the planning, the lengths this guy went to hide his crimes.
Terrifying. Sarah opens the bunker, and there she is, Mia. Bound, gagged, but alive. Huge relief, but then Mia whispers, "He's coming back."
Total roller coaster. Relief that she's alive, but knowing the danger's not over. The suspense is killing me.
And right then, out of the darkness comes Vincent Crowe, face full of anger and desperation, ranting about protecting Mia, saving her from the world.
Here's where it gets really interesting. You see glimpses of Vincent's past, the trauma that messed up his thinking. He sees the world through this twisted lens. He actually thinks he's doing the right thing, even though it's horrifying.
Really makes you think about mental illness, how it can drive people to do terrible things. He lunges at Sarah and Mia, and she has to fire a warning shot.
So dramatic, but also kind of sad. Vincent's whole world falls apart. They take him away, and the town can finally breathe again. But the story doesn't end there. What about Mia and the whole town? How do they recover from this? We'll dig into that in part 2 of our deep dive. So we're back, diving deeper into Shadows of the Silent House. We left off with Vincent Crowe arrested, Norwood breathing a sigh of relief. But as we know, the story doesn't just stop there. The aftermath? That can be just as bad, like ripples spreading out.
Yeah, it's like a wound needing time to heal. The whole town's holding its breath, wondering if it's really over. Will they ever feel safe again?
That feeling, it's so relatable, that unease. Think about a time when you felt unsafe. A break-in nearby, a news story, something that shook you up. This story gets that fear, that even in safe places, we're still vulnerable.
And then there's Mia. She's safe, but the trauma, that's not over. The story shows us how raw her recovery is, the nightmares, anxiety, the fear that sticks around even when the danger's gone.
Like her body's still on high alert, even back home. You see her struggling with everyday stuff, loud noises, crowds. It's normal after trauma. Your senses go haywire, you're always looking for threats, even when there aren't any.
It's tough to see her, so bright before, now subdued, haunted by what happened. Simple things, walking alone, being in small spaces, they trigger panic attacks.
This is where the story really nails the importance of support. Her family, friends, they rally around her,
Yeah.
loving and understanding. But they know they can't fully get it, what she went through, and that's okay. Sometimes just being there, listening without judgment, that's the most powerful thing you could do.
It reminds you that healing, it's not a solo mission. You need people, a network, a safe space to process everything, to rebuild your life.
For sure. And Detective Blake, she goes above and beyond. She's not just a cop anymore. She's there for Mia, helping her through it all.
It's pretty inspiring, her dedication. She checks in on Mia, goes to therapy with her, even helps her get back into art as therapy.
That's a great point. The power of art and healing.
Yeah.
Channeling pain, expressing those emotions you can't put into words, can give you back a sense of control. Ever notice how doing something creative, painting, writing, even gardening, helps you work through tough stuff?
Like giving a voice to those feelings, right?
Yeah.
Powerful stuff. But the story doesn't just focus on Mia, it's the whole town, their trauma, the need for justice. Vincent Crow's trial, it becomes this focal point for everyone's grief and anger.
That trial, it's fascinating. All these questions about responsibility, mental illness, how it plays into crime. Vincent's defense, they say he thought he was saving those girls, protecting them. Like a messed up hero complex.
Classic nature versus nurture, huh? His lawyer paints this picture, a man broken by grief, his mind shattered after losing his family. Makes you wonder, where is the line? How much can we hold someone accountable when their reality is so warped?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And no easy answers here. The story shows us Vincent's complexity, the monster, and, in his own way, genuine empathy. It's twisted, but it's there. Reminds us that good and evil, it's not always black and white. Trying to understand why people do things, even horrible things, it's complicated.
And just as the town starts to heal, bam, another hit. More details about Vincent come out. Journals, they find them, detailing where he took 2 other girls who never came home.
Devastating. Adds another layer of tragedy. The town has to face it. More innocent lives lost. The nightmare was bigger than they thought.
It's like a reminder that closure, it's not always there. Healing from trauma, it takes time. It's ongoing. Even with Vincent locked up, the scars are deep for the whole town, and especially for Mia.
The story doesn't shy away from the pain. But it also shows us how strong people can be. Mia, after everything, she finds a way to move forward. Doesn't let what happened define her. Small steps, finding comfort in her art and the people who love her.
It's a message of hope about how resilient we are, bouncing back, finding a new normal, making those experiences part of your life, and still moving on with strength and hope.
That's it. And for Mia, art becomes her lifeline, pouring her pain into painting, expressing herself, taking back control. Really beautiful how creativity can heal us, help us understand ourselves.
Finding that light inside, the one that can't be put out. The story doesn't ignore the lasting effects of trauma, but it also gives us hope. Not just for Mia, for everyone who's been through something like this. Even when it's dark, there's always a reason to keep going, to keep fighting for healing, for a brighter future.
That's what I want people to take away from Shadows of the Silent House. Be aware, be there for each other, and never underestimate the human spirit. Even in darkness, hope always finds a way.
Okay, so final part of our deep dive, Shadows of the Silent House. We've gone through it all, Mia's disappearance, Vincent Crow, the town trying to heal. But this story, it sticks with you, makes you think about the world,
It's how it breaks down that idea of safety, especially in these small towns where everyone thinks they know each other. Like, bad stuff only happens somewhere else, not in our little bubble.
Yeah.
But this story, it reminds us that darkness can be anywhere. Kind of creepy when you think about it.
Like, evil doesn't always have a big sign, right? It can be hiding right under our noses, someone we know, trust, even all those people we see every day, neighbors, coworkers, friends. I mean, do we really know them?
That's the point. It makes us think, be more aware. Those little signs, abuse, manipulation, those red flags, we tend to ignore them or come up with excuses. Ever get a weird feeling about a place, a house on your street? This story taps into that, how sometimes our gut feeling is right.
Thinking back, Vincent Crow, so isolated, withdrawn, those were signs, weren't they? But everyone just figured, oh, he's grieving, lost his family. What other signs are we missing in our own lives?
Tough question. But it's the point the story is making. Be more aware, not just for ourselves, but for others too. Notice those little things, changes in behavior, that feeling that something's off.
And if something feels wrong, someone's acting strange, a kid seems scared or withdrawn, say something. You might be the only one who notices, the only one who can help.
Exactly. It's about looking out for each other, not being afraid to have tough conversations. Sometimes just a kind word, listening to someone, can make all the difference.
The story isn't all dark, though. Mia, even after everything, she rebuilds her life. She doesn't let Vincent win. She takes back her life, finds her voice again.
It's incredible how strong people can be. It's not about forgetting. It's about finding a new normal, living with what happened, and still moving on with hope and strength.
And art, that becomes her way through it. Painting, it lets her work through the pain, express those feelings that are hard to say. It's beautiful how creativity can heal us, help us understand ourselves.
It really can. Ever notice how doing something creative, anything, painting, writing, music, even gardening, it can feel therapeutic, like you
Yeah.
tap into a different part of yourself, work through things without words, find beauty even in dark times.
Like a light inside you that nothing can put out. The story doesn't sugarcoat the trauma, but it shows us there's always hope. Not just for Mia, for anyone who's been through something terrible. Even when it's darkest, there's a reason to keep going, to keep fighting for healing, for a better future.
And that's what I hope people get from Shadows of the Silent House. Be aware, be there for each other, and never give up on hope, on the strength we all have inside. Even in darkness, hope always finds a way.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's think about what we've talked about. Good versus evil, mental illness, community, how strong we can be, and that hope that never dies. This story, it stays with you, makes you look deeper, question things, appreciate the good we have. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.